this is coming together very, very well from what I've seen, and everything I see so far, I'm in favor of this. I think this could be a great enhancement to us.
Oh, it's a great,
Please. One of your questions about what if the work isn't done, that's why I believe we're having a performance bond.
Right.
So if the work isn't done, that's on the back of the surety company if we get
How does
to
that work? How does a performance bond work?
Well, I mean, if you have grounds to default.
So if I gave you $20,000, do they give you like some amount of money, or what's
No, you don't get money. Generally, they have to undertake to do the. Well, they can choose. They generally choose to do the work, but they could conceivably give you money.
Oh, performance bond, they hire an insurance company and take on insurance?
Yes, the insurance company is then in charge of hiring its own workers, and they will do the work. And now, another thing what you could possibly do is, since you're dealing with, for example, snow removal, is put in some kind of schedule. I don't know if it's related to penalties. For example, they have to have the snow done within 12 hours of the stopping of the snowfall, or something like that.
If you just, as long as you review the contract, would you and Mr. Noto take a look at the contract?
Well, I think I'm preparing the contract.
Oh, you are? Okay.
But to answer your original question, yes, I think it's a good idea for you to meet with them. I think it would be helpful for you to meet with them before we sign a contract.
Excuse me, I'm here from GPS.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sitting here.
I didn't know who you were.
Happy to answer.
I didn't even see you back there.
Yeah, please, come on up.
I didn't even see him back there.
Yeah, I was wondering why I didn't know you. I just thought you were an interesting constituent.
My name is Rocco Lagana. I've been in business 35 years.
Okay.
Bottom line, why we're able to be so competitive. I think this gentleman here hit the nail on the head. We have a Toro 4700 mower. It mows 60 acres a day. I don't know, pull up the specs, Google it, 4700 Toro Groundsmaster. It's an $85,000 machine. It'll take us literally 2 hours to go through Crawford Park just to mow the large areas. I mean,
You're going to leave the trees up, though, right?
Yes. So the point I'm trying to make is, yes, it is prevailing wage. We're well aware of the prevailing wage. We have other prevailing wage jobs. We work for the state of Connecticut DOT, Fairfield Schools. I mean, you have my list of references. You probably have to talk to them.
Yes.
We do Stanford hospitals, and we're very well in tune with the municipal work. Outsourcing is a great tool for the government. It really is. I know I'm saving you a lot of money. All right, you cannot perform this work because you cannot afford to go out and get this machine just to do your 2 parks. However, I do school systems with it. I do large other parks with it. We're bidding on Beardsley Park and Bridgeport, so we're able to blow through these things really, really fast. And bottom line, that machine affords me the ability to pass on the savings to you. Hence why no one can be competitive with me when I'm bidding on a job like this where I can utilize this piece of equipment. So yes, it is conforming. Answer your question with performance bond. Performance bond is simply a guarantee of the work being done.
Are you happy to do that?
Hold on a minute. I don't do that.
We demand it.
I don't do that. It's the price is already submitted in the bid.
Right.
For the cost for me to purchase that performance bond.
Right.
We fail to do our job. The surety company will step in and pay you the next person on your list. If he's not available, the next person above him to get it done. They will not hire anyone. They will allow you to go out and get whoever it is according to your list until you get that right person to finish the job that you contracted with us to do. That's what a surety bond is. There's different forms of it. You're asking for a performance bond. You did not ask for a bid bond. So hence, I can take this bid and say, listen, I don't want it. I'm passing along. You didn't ask for a bid bond, so I have that availability. If I didn't, I would have had to put up a bid bond, which guaranteed my price. Another form of a bond you didn't ask for was a payment bond. Hey, that my services, that my supplies were being paid for, and my labor was being paid for. So there's different forms of bonding that's required. You only ask for one. Am I more than happy to give you the rest? More than happy to. Whatever it's going to take for this board to feel comfortable. This is not brain surgery. All right, I'm telling you right now, this is simple work. I'm not degrading what I do. It's just that we do it every day for 35 years, and with the technology and the equipment we have, we're able to pass that along to you. Feel free to talk to my customers.
Well, hold on. Any questions from the board?
No, I have to tell you, I appreciate your candor.
Thank you so much.
I also, you're very confident about yourself, and I think, the conversation that you would have had with the supervisor one-on-one would probably not have taken on the tone that we're having now.
I take no personal, this is business.
No,
No, I agree.
No.
And, you know, the bottom line is that
So I think we recommend we go forward.
I just want to, you mentioned snow, with regard to snow. You can check my number one snow reference that there is, the Stamford Transportation Center. Outside of Grand Central Station, it is the second busiest train station in any of the three lines. We have 35,000 customers, or whatever you want. Riders going through there a day. Check last winter's not only accident report, but complaint report. Speak with Fusco Management. Speak with the state DOT. We're very proud of that.
Beautiful.
you
Wonderful.
so much.
Great. Terrific. Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other
from the board?
questions?
no,
Thank you, Mr. Logano. Appreciate you. I'm glad you spoke up.
yeah. I'll entertain.
Yeah, get this on camera, Paul.
I'll entertain.
You ask him if he needs a lawyer?
No. I want his lawyer to contact me so we can work on the contract together.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion to adopt this
I'm not
resolution.
admitted in Connecticut.
To adopt this resolution.
So moved. So moved.
With the stipulation that for the approval from the town attorney and the supervisor.
Well, we're going, well, if I may, we're going to prepare a contract, and I was
Right.
just discussing with him, and
Right.
it's not clear from the resolution, when do you want this to commence? Is it a year or 1 year?
I
Well,
think my opinion.
Well, when is it supposed to start?
My-
October?
The
Regardless of
bid
when-
document had October 1st as a tentative start date.
Okay, but this bid, and correct me if I'm wrong, is for 12 months.
This bid is for 2 years
Yes.
with a built-in 2% escalator in the second year, and there's an option, an annual option to extend for 3 years.
Okay, but this 34,738 represents 12 months of work.
That's correct.
Okay, so then I would suggest
So it's October 1st.
no.
No, he's
I would
saying
go.
earlier.
I would say when we can get it started. Let that
Well,
be the start
no,
date.
the problem is the bid was specific to October 1, correct?
Yes.
So when we're referencing the bid.
We're fine to start whenever you guys want. If
All right,
you want
so-
to shoot for August 1, we're okay with August 1.
No, we won't be able to do a contract that
Oh, then
quickly.
maybe
Let's say maybe
September.
September 1 is more
Yes.
likely.
Whenever
Yeah.
you're ready, I'm...
All right,
I think it's
Okay.
good.
okay, so
Okay.
Does that sound good, Michelle?
we would say no later, we'll try to do it around September 1, is that fair?
Well, you trying to tell me he can start fast and we can do a contract?
Well, I think we're going to do some work here. And I think you wait, in fairness, the town has some administrative things to do in the meantime, so.
You're removing the Rye-Town Park portion from it?
That was my other thing. I'd like to
well,
also pass
actually-
that on for their approval.
But then we begin to log
I have the
in.
same question, so let's just go through that question right now. So, sorry, so I think, well, Mr. Noto, help me here. I think Mr. Noak's probably right, that this is more appropriately approved at the Rye Town Board, but you tell me.
He is
right?
correct. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rye-Town Park Commission, as you know, has been designated by the legislature as the managing body of the park. So while we run the employees through the town payroll system, technically the commission runs the park. So yeah, you would need their consent to make what is clearly a change in policy.
I mean, ultimately, if we can give them a strong recommendation from
Right.
this board
I
that
think that's
we've done the diligence,
Right.
and we've vetted numerous people. We have a responsible bid, and this is a decision that is going to save the town of Rye money with operating the parks, and we've automatically put the Rye Town Park Commission and the Rye Town Park in a position to better utilize its
So I think...
Yeah, I would actually send them a copy of the bid
Well, I think...
and the
Yeah, but I think-
responses to the bid, and I think you would
Well, but since
send
this...
an email explaining what's going
But
on.
I also think, since this board picks up 51% of the cost of the park, correct?
Yes.
I think this board, it's more than a strong recommendation. They need to know why.
I don't
If
think
this
you're going to
bidder's
resistance
not, I don't
from
think
the
we're
commission
gonna-
either.
No, I think if
I think
this
it's
bidder is not chosen, we want another reason.
If I may, I think we can put forth a cost analysis that will help this case. with the submission of the bid and everything else that Attorney Noto is recommending.
It won't delay the contract, because I can prepare the contract with the Rye Town Park in it, if you so designate me to do that, and then if for some reason we take it out, we'll take it out of the contract. But
Well, the bid document
I won't
allows...
slow down the process, but I think you do need their consent.
Well, the good news is we're meeting with them Tuesday, 7:30. We don't need to discuss it anymore. Tuesday, 7:30, we're going to make a strong recommendation from this board to hire the same firm.
That's a public meeting.
For Rye Town
Right.
Park. It's a public meeting.
Fine.
7:30 is noticed. It's voted on, as you saw. I
Okay.
think. So next Tuesday, 7:30, we'll hopefully be there. Just so you know, Mr. Logano, basically it's two different boards. So-
If I attend that meeting?
Pardon me? Yeah, absolutely. Next Tuesday, 7:30, same place.
Yes, it's a public
Same
meeting.
time, same channel.
It's in the morning, though.
7:30 a.m. Yeah, a.m. It is. Yeah, exactly. 7:30 a.m. But you're more than welcome to attend the meeting. I'm happy to have you come up and speak as well.
All right.
Very good. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt that resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Excellent.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next is
Congratulations, Mr. Logano, you're on board.
Resolution G, and I guess, Bishop, you can fill us in on this as well. This is regarding architectural services
Right.
regarding the
good.
Crawford Park rear staircase.
Yeah.
Okay, if you'll remember the last meeting, we gave you the 3 architectural bids that ranged as high as, I think it was 17.5, give or take a penny or two, 17.6. And you asked us to see if we couldn't go back and perhaps continue to explore this concept of trying to get the stairs inside instead of putting what amounts to a fire escape on the outside of the building. So the architect that submitted that proposal is H2 Architects. What they've done is they've reduced their base price by $1,300.
16 or 13?
They've $1,300, I think it is.
Okay.
And what they've done is they've also included the engineering cost, which were excluded before. Now that's the equivalent of about another $2,000. We're comfortable here that this is the right decision to make. It will not negatively impact the image of the mansion.
So, but sorry, what do I get for the $75,000? Do I get my stairwell?
You get your entire stairwell.
And it's inside?
Yeah, what the architect has basically said is that their price for the design services and the engineering services is already part of that $75,000 budget. They feel comfortable that once the project is bid, it will come in less than $60,000.
You just lost
You
me.
mean 60,000 meaning...
But all we're asking in the resolution for you to approve tonight is the cost of the architectural services,
Which is how much?
which is $16,380
Where did it say
So
that?
did they
at the
already,
bottom of the resolution.
so have they already concluded that they can provide the stairwell inside the mansion?
Well, yeah, they've
Or the design services could
done an on-site review already. They're comfortable in the fact that the structures that they've looked at, that this would work.
Let me rephrase the question.
Yes.
So the design work is actually to design the stairwell, not to see if it's possible.
No, the design work is actually to create construction documents so that we can go out to bid to get the job done. So they will do all the construction detailed design work, and then we'll have bid documents to be able to put out. So
And
their portion of the cost is the
And they
$16,380.
put out the bid, and then we get somebody in to build it.
That's correct.
And they're estimating that the
That
actual
would be
project
less-
is going to be less than $60,000.
That's
And
correct.
that's the reason why we're looking at $75,000 all in.
Well, that was the initial project
Right,
cost.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, what line item is this coming out of in our budget?
Right now, this was hopefully was going to be capital. This was part of this is a capital improvement. We do have some operating expense maintenance budget line at $60,000. I don't know exactly where we are in relation to that number.
And this is going to open up approximately how many square feet to the public?
Well, this will open up 3 large meeting rooms upstairs that frankly we really don't use effectively now.
Right.
And what this does is this provides a totally separate entrance for that upstairs so that we can then properly segregate downstairs activities and upstairs
My
activities.
question is, following on from Mr. Neoris's, Councilman Neoris's capital expenditure plan, which I think we have $1 million targeted for Crawford Park at least. And I think a lot of that 885 is for the mansion.
Right.
Are we putting in the spectacular staircase and going to have to muck it up if we do the other work, or how does the sequencing? Is this going to mess up the sequencing of the other stuff?
They're putting the stairwell, where that back stairwell was, that smaller one.
Well, it starts there. It actually comes down right into the back of the kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
Where the kitchen windows are, there's a I don't know, cupboard there or what have you. That's all there is. The measurements they took said that they could blow out a storage closet that's upstairs, bring it down, and at that particular point where the windows are now looking over the back of the park, you would have a new entrance, if you will, to the second floor.
So this probably, I don't know if this was included per se in the capital plan?
It was.
Okay.
So that would be, that would just serve to reduce some of that cost.
I actually think we got 4 rooms upstairs, right?
Yeah, there's 4. One is used as a bridal room, which is, relatively small, but there are 3 what I would call substantial meeting rooms that are there.
Okay, and so the key thing here is that this will open up additional area for use.
Yeah, in a legal and safe way.
Correct. And so we at this point, we would satisfy the concerns that the insurance company brought forward and help us be compliant.
Totally.
Okay.
So sorry, can we use that, you keep saying meeting rooms, can we use it as office space?
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Let's make it clear.
You could.
Well, we could, yeah. I mean, we're spending $75,000 to open up. It's got to be more than a meeting room. We can meet there now. The whole idea was we had a previous tenant who was non-conforming, who since left because he was non-conforming. If I would have thought that this stairwell, enables us to put office space up there.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to do that, yeah.
Right, okay, so
I
I'm
mean,
not sure
I-
you can rent it out.
why not?
Well, because the park is governed by a will,
Well, actually,
limits our,
if I go my plan, when we tear this building down, we may have three, we may be using it as office space in the
well,
interim.
that's different.
That's
If
different.
That's a municipal function,
Yeah,
and that's okay, but
Right.
but
And
to
that-
rent it out and...
No, I'm talking about...
You can't commercialize it.
No, I'm not looking at, I'm not looking at commercial, sorry, apologies. It's for not-for-profits, or,
It has to maintain its municipal purpose.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I was skeptical in the beginning with this process, and I was on the record for that, and I'm satisfied with what we're looking at now. And I like that the concept is keeping the integrity of the building and bringing the staircase compliant and inside the building. So just wanted to say that. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mark me as present. Present.
The question I have is, I just want to make sure, Bishop, as you award this, but I just want to make sure it doesn't mess up the sequencing of our, if we're really going to spend significant monies in improving Crawford Mansion, is this going to, in other words, are we going to put, you understand, I don't know if you understand my concern.
Yeah.
To put in a wonderful stairwell and then, have it, torn to pieces as we refurnish.
I would...
Why would you tear it to
Yeah.
pieces?
I would
I don't
think
know,
that once this is in, becomes part and parcel of the mansion operation. The capital items that are there are things like replacing the floor, perhaps upgrading the plumbing, replacing windows and doors.
So none of that
roof, et cetera.
impacts what we're doing today?
No, not at all.
All right, okay.
Not at all.
All right, perfect, good. I have a louder eye then.
All right, and just to kind of give you the quick rundown here. From the time we actually have construction start, they're talking about 90 days or so.
Great.
We're talking about, from the time we give them a go, 4 to 6 weeks for the design process, 3 weeks for the bidding process, and then 2 weeks for the
Now,
award process.
town staff has done a very good job refurbishing some of our rooms here on the second floor. Can we envision a similar scenario for the mansion?
Perhaps. In some respects, yes, and in other things, for example, redoing the floors, you would have to bring
No, I'm
professional...
talking about the rooms. Are you talking about second floor
Yeah, I'm
rooms,
talking
or-
about redoing the floors on the second floor. We would have to bring a professional in for that, but certainly painting the walls or something along that
Yeah.
line, absolutely. I wouldn't see a problem in that.
Great.
Very good. Resolution H here, this is ultimately, it's a discussion item for a Crawford Park fence. This is part leftover from last month's meeting. Both myself and Michelle visited the area, and I believe that we're both in agreement. So I guess, Michelle, you can talk.
Well, I think that we thought that in keeping with what we have there now, which is a stockade wooden fence, that we would like to stick with that type of fence. Now, I don't know if this price is what it's for? Or is that the price that you gave us last month for the metal fence?
Okay, when I got here from Globe Fence,
Frank, just want to come up to the...
Come up.
I met with the contractors again last month, and I met with Globe Fencing out of New Rochelle, Mike's Fence Corporation out of New Rochelle, and Brothers Fencing out of Portchester, and we went to the stockade end of it. Globe Fencing, after recalculating all the measurements and going over everything, to put an enclosed area for the dumpsters in stockade, that would be $3,600. All right, with the gates and everything.
And that's attaching to the current fence that
Current
we have
fencing,
now,
they would
just at
repair the
side.
stuff in the back, because there's a couple of loose parts of the fence, that we would repair it and then attach it to that. Mike's Fencing gave us a price on $7,100, and Brothers Fencing gave us a price with both prices. One part of it was like $96.10, and then the second part of it was $24.16. So after looking at all the bids and talking to Bishop, Globe Fencing was the cheapest out of the three bidders
That's not what this
out of New Rochelle.
Oh, that's the other. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was for the stockade, and then we had the other aspect was for the iron fence with the slats. So yeah, we didn't want to do that.
So ultimately, Globe Fence is the bidder that gave you the most competitive bid, obviously by at least half of the next closest bidder. It happens to be the product that both myself and Councilwoman Mendocino suggest, and we suggest that to the board.
Beautiful.
In keeping with the integrity and with the
That's
style
fine.
and design.
He made a mistake. He charged us tax, and you have to take the tax out, so it's $3,600. So I'm going to give him a call tomorrow and once the board instructs me to, and then we'll take it from there.
So it's actually less than what we have here.
It's
Globe Fence.
Globe Fencing is the cheapest on the stockade end.
All right, let's be clear. What are we doing then? It's Globe,
Globe Fence,
Globe Fence.
and the amount is
3,600.
3,600.
even?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the resolution as amended.
Right, the
Globe
resolution
fence,
as
3,600.
amended, Globe Fence for $3,600, and this will be a wood stockade fence to match what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mr.
I-
Slavin would like to say something.
Can I just add a comment here?
Yes.
Councilman Gelfarb and I actually met with Chris Bradbury and Joan Feinstein at Crawford Park this morning to discuss possible options as it relates to either Crawford Park usage and/or Elm Hill Park. The reason I put it on as a discussion item was I was hoping you would consider holding this off for a bit until we have a clearer sense of how we're going to move forward up there. The boundary lines there would put us in a position, for example, of having to take this thing down and move it again. If we, depending on what we resolve to do with some of the adjacent work there. So again, it just...
I don't see anything changing with this area anytime soon. The whole purpose of this fence, in my opinion, I don't know if Michelle, you want to
Well,
weigh
it's
in.
really for people who
Is-
keep throwing stuff into our
Yeah.
dumpster, and for the aesthetic look of having the
Yeah.
exposed dumpsters.
And I think this is long overdue. This is $3,600 to enhance the area. There's an undefined timeline whether or not anything is going to happen with Elm Hill Park, if at all.
Okay.
And I think that this is a responsible way to go forward. This area here ultimately, it's very limited, and I don't think this would have any bearing on
Not a
it.
problem. I just wanted to put that on the table so that you had the
Well, if we
opportunity.
had to move it, it wouldn't be like we were going to lose the fencing itself anyway. We could always take it. It's movable.
Okay.
So I'll entertain a motion to adopt this resolution as amended.
I'll move.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Very good.
Oh, actually, Frank, why don't you stay up there and give us your park
Wait,
foreman
I have an
report.
I have another resolution.
That's
We have an add-on, Resolution I.
Well, he's up there. Let me let him
Oh, okay.
give his report.
Actually, I was going to put this as my report for tonight.
What's that?
The fencing.
Okay. All right. Anything else going on?
No report on this.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Okay, perfect.
Okay, if I may, resolution add-on, it's an I, it's an in-rem resolution.
Very good. So do we entertain a motion for the add-on?
Yes, yes.
No, the supervisor can do it, or
Okay.
he's the Ayatollah, he can just put it on.
Very good. You're giving him way too much power, Paul, but all
It's
right.
not me, it's the state of New York. You should have in front of you a document that says Town of Rye 2008 liens.
Yes, we have
Okay,
it.
this is your 2011 in-rem list that Mr. Mecca was kind enough to prepare. I'm happy to say that we're down to 26 properties. Now, remember, we started 2 years ago at 74. Last year, we were at 35, so now we're down to 26. So,
27.
27, okay. I didn't do well in math in school. Anyway, so we're making progress, and
Some of them are all
that's-
owned by the same person.
yeah. Some of them are owned by the same people. But in any event, I prepared a resolution authorizing me to commence an in-rem. It would be after August 1st. Same rate as last year, $400 a parcel plus fees, all of which are paid for by the delinquent taxpayer. The $259,920.40 is the amounts only for the 2008, so actually this number would be considerably higher because they will have to be current up until the day they pay, which would be some point between now and the end of the year.
And in your packet for the receivables, there's an in-rem report, page 3, it lists these 27 properties and the interest and the penalties up to June 30th. So it's $1.1 million for these 27 properties, including all taxes through June 30th, 2011, and penalties through that period. So we're sending Paul out for $1.1 million. He's hitting the road.
Very good. Anything else we need to know, Mr. Nono?
So what we're
You're authorizing me to commence the action.
So I get a motion to approve Town Attorney Noto to continue his good work on the in-rem properties.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. David, why don't you stay, perfect. And this is Mr. Mecca and Mr. Burns, perfect. We'll go right to the reports then.
We have to vote.
Oh, sorry. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Bill Nova?
Yes.
Yep. Sorry, thank you, Mr. Gilford. So, schedule appropriate, what am I looking at here? Sorry.
I don't know which one it is.
I don't know, did you say you have a report for,
There's a receivables report.
Where is that?
Summary report that is in your packet. And then-
General fund, association? I don't have it.
what's it look like?
Give us a clue, come on. Give us a hint.
It's
Oh, that's not it.
landscape, it's not.
When did you send that? Oh, this one?